mortgage was for?
Either 15 or
20. 20.
So you have to be open and honest about money and where is it being spent and...
Well, yeah, you gotta be sensible about not spending it way ahead of earning it. Because if you do that, you're paying interest rates that are eating it
through
up.
the roof.
Right.
Through the roof.
I just read the Reader's Digest the other day. By the way, I have one for you.
Okay.
No, I don't. I just threw it out Sunday.
Thanks.
I think. It might be in it.
When did we buy the house?
19. What do you mean, when did we buy the house? We bought the house 51 years ago. Subtract. 1956.
Did you think you'd be here that long?
We figured we'd be here till we died.
Really?
Didn't we?
Yeah.
We bought the house to live in forever. We didn't buy the house until we could afford to buy a bigger one.
Really?
No.
What do we want a bigger one for?
Right now we got friends that have bigger houses
That
that
want small ones.
wish they had one our size.
Yeah.
Smart move. Like Dad. He has such a big house, he's not going to be able to clean it. Well, Amanda's not going to be able to clean it
Right.
40 years from now. They'll move to the Poconos.
Huh?
They'll move to the Poconos, probably. Build a house out there. So, you have to have an open line of communication. Now, what do you do when you fight with each other?
Try to win.
You don't.
And
Yeah.
sometimes she lets me think I win.
Is that a...
For one thing, you start out when you have kids, you don't yell in front of your kids.
I think that's very important.
Don't argue in front of your kids.
Number one rule.
I don't think your aunt or your dad ever heard us argue.
I think
Never
that's
heard
smart.
us yell at one another. If we did it, they weren't around. Of course, we very seldom ever did it, would we?
My parents were married for over 50 years before my father died. And I never heard them argue with each other. And I know that they didn't get along perfectly all the time.
Right.
But they took care of it privately. They never did it in front of the children.
And that's one way of keeping together. By not arguing.
And if you hold it back until the kids aren't around, by the time the kids aren't around, you don't need that.
You've forgotten about
You
it.
don't need to argue anymore. It's something you got over already.
It's over with.
That's
You
smart.
just swallow for a little while. It'll go down on its own. Think about that.
That's a smart idea.
Yeah.
It's a really smart idea. I like hearing you guys bicker, though. That's one of my
But
favorite
that's
things.
just fun. See,
You don't take it too seriously.
We don't take it serious at all.
That's the best thing.
That's our game. And you people all look at it
Yeah,
and
everybody
say,
else
stop
is
arguing, stop arguing.
Dad says that. I think it's funny.
We
I don't
don't
say.
argue.
We are
We
not
just have
arguing.
fun.
We are not arguing.
I think that's so
That's
funny.
wordplay.
People say to get married to somebody you love to talk to because you're going to be stuck with that person for the rest of your life.
Unless you live in the United States, and then it might last for 2 years.
Well, I don't plan
I
on
let
it.
him talk all the time.
He's the biggest talker I know, besides Dylan. Pop-Pop talks more than anybody I
But
know.
you know what my
Yeah,
reputation
but he
was?
talks sense.
My reputation as a child and a teenager,
I bet you were shy.
I was the most bashful person you would ever meet.
Really?
Positively.
I changed that.
You changed that?
He used to let everybody walk all over him.
Really?
Constantly.
Really?
Yeah.
I
And
had.
I can't stand that.
I think you should know a little bit about my medical background.
Uh-oh.
There was a disease when I was a child called scarlet fever.
I've heard of that.
It could be quite life-threatening.
Yeah.
I had it when I was 4 years old.
Oh, no.
I also had measles at the same time,
Oh, my gosh.
and I very near died. The local doctor saved my life. When I came out of the confinement in my mother's bedroom with my grandmother for a month, that was required when you had scarlet fever, the first thing they did was give me a bath. because apparently with scarlet fever there's some peeling of skin all over your body and what have you. And my mother waited out there. My mother hadn't seen me for 4 weeks.
Oh my gosh. But your grandma was just in there with you?
Yeah. And when I came out of the bathroom, my mother was waiting for me. I wouldn't even go to her.
Why?
I was too bashful.
Oh my goodness.
I'd been with my grandmother for a month. I wouldn't go near my mother. I gradually got over that. Very quickly.
Yeah.
But it was a little heartbreaking for her that
Oh, I
first
bet.
day. But when my mother would go shopping, we walked a mile into the center of Burlington to go shopping. Because we didn't have a
We didn't have
car.
cars.
Oh, no, not back then.
Mm-mm.
So this was during the Depression.
The 30s.
She would go into the grocery store or a meat store. They used to have stores that sold nothing but meat.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
And I wouldn't go in with her. I would stay outside with the baby coach watching my sister, or just watching the empty coach. Because I knew if I went inside, that man behind the counter would
Talk to
me,
you?
and I couldn't handle that.
How'd you get over that? Because now you go
Like
in and you
Grandma
just...
said, I got married, and she broke me of it.
So he was that shy when you met him?
I was shy.
Yeah.
I had girls that I
Yeah.
wanted to take out when I was single, but I was too bashful to ask them.
Then how'd you get Grandma to go out with you?
She asked me.
Did you lie? I think my girlfriend set that up, didn't she?
No, I don't know.
Because he was in the service. And my father had died, was buried like on a Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And he was home on leave. And the girls, my girlfriend and her boyfriend, and another couple, I don't know who the other couple was.
Tex.
Who?
Tex.
And
Joan Bentliff.
Pop-Up. They
Ruth-
stopped
Ruth
to
Bentliff.
ask me, they were all going down the shore. And he wanted a date, so they stopped and asked me to go. I couldn't go. My father was just buried.
Right.
And they understood.
6 weeks before that.
Huh?
Your father was buried 6 weeks before that.
No, I don't think so. It was the next day.
When did he die, Laura? He
May.
died in May. We didn't go down the shore in May. We went
May
down.
11th. Yes, you were going down the shore the next day.
Okay.
I'll never forget it. And then I don't know. I don't know when you asked me for a date. But then I met him on the street corner.
I remember, that's the part I remember.
He was driving his father's car around, and there were 3 of us that were really good friends. I lived on 8th Avenue, one lived on 7th Avenue, and one lived on 5th Avenue. So the one on 7th Avenue, me, and the one on 7th Avenue would walk to 7th Avenue when they were at my house, so that the other girl could walk to 5th Avenue by herself, and I could walk to 8th Avenue by myself. And this guy comes around a corner and sees my
Your
girlfriend and stops. And she turns around and she says, "Look at that guy. What's he think he's going to do, pick us up?" And then she recognized him. And then we were introduced, and then I don't know how he got to ask me to go out. He took me down to see the Student Prince, our first day.
What's that?
It's an
play
operetta.
down in
One of the theaters in Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, yeah.
And how long did you date before you proposed to her?
2 weeks.
To lie.
Wait, how long? For real?
It was October. And
Probably 6 months.
we were married in August.
We got
Wow.
engaged on Memorial Day.
Yeah.
How'd you propose to her?
Her mother kept saying, "When are you going to marry her?"
He's lying. I don't know. That was 60 years ago.
I can't even fathom that much amount of time. Maybe because I'm only 20, but